Why it's important to be recognized. What a great, great, great title. I want to give it up to my son, Matthew Hollis, for helping me with this. And I can tell you right now, maybe the key in life is just to have an imagination of actually being recognized. Maybe the imagination you need to have is that. So my entire life, I've always imagined being recognized. We were talking on an imaginator that we do on Sunday, and one of the things that learning to really get your imagination back like a young kid. I want to be an astronaut. I want to be a fireman, or I want to be an entrepreneur. I want to help millions and millions of people. I want to make an impact. Um, and one of the things that's very, very unique is uh, that when you focus on that recognition. So I wasn't good in school. I was dyslexic. Um, I got to be in special classes. Educated, challenged, I guess they said, and I couldn't get any recognition there, and didn't want it. But when I started working with my hands and figuring out how to work on bicycles and snowmobiles and mini bikes and go-karts, I loved the recognition. People go, "Wow, you built that bike? Wow, you fixed that snowmobile? Wow, you built that go-kart, that mini bike." And then, of course, when I got older, very, very young, I had a paper route. I loved getting praise and recognition, for being really good at the paper route. I had even this thing called a grit, and they would give out recognition for that. And I didn't realize until Matt brought it up that that's really everything in life that makes me who I am. And all of a sudden, I remember, wow, even going to school, there all of a sudden were these people that seemed to be popular, and they had these little niches. You had the people that were athletes, right? And then you had the cheerleaders, and then you had the people that were in band, or, the geeks, the bookworms, the people that were always had good grades. And then you had like the stoners, yo, dude, you had the partiers. And then there was this other one, and they all called us grease monkeys, gearheads. And, everyone that was at school was always blown away by the person that just had a badass car, just a badass car. And, so I remember, I asked people if they had any cars that, were, and I found this guy, and he said, "Hey," I said, he says, "I got a 57 Chevy hardtop." Um, and he goes, "It doesn't run. If you can get it out of here." You know what I mean? And I was doing this at 13, 14 years of age. And I got the car hauled down and to our backyard. And every day I worked on that car. It had a locked up motor, and I just learned, and I was, working with a couple of guys that built race cars, and I got to work for them for free and help them and learn this stuff. But during the summer, we would go to Glendive Motor Speedway, and they would drag race their cars. And I'm going, man, people are walking up, and don't get mad at me for saying this, but these are the spectators. The spectators in life. And what they do is they vicariously live through people in the world that are actually doing something. And I just didn't want to be a spectator. I wanted to be the person that had the car. And so as I built that car up, and I was driving the car, in a field before I even got a driver's license. But then I got a driver's license, and I remember everyone was freaked out that I had this 57 Chevy hardtop, and I was driving back and forth to school. And then all of a sudden, Hot Rod magazine came out. I would get Popular Mechanics and what is it called? Hot Rod magazine. And Grumpy Jenkins was his name. And he put a Corvette motor a 400 horsepower motor in a Vega, like a Pinto. They were like disposable cars. And I just went, man, that's what I'm going to do. I understood that there's horsepower versus weight. So when you see the fastest car, it really is the biggest motor with the most horsepower and the lightest car, the lightest car. James, thank you very much. I just love you, man. Thank you for being a super chatter. The kids will love it. And so I pulled it off. There was nobody in like a 4-state region, and it's small, North Dakota, Montana, South Dakota, Wyoming, it was like that region, Idaho. And I built this car, this Vega with this motor in it. And I'm telling you what, that was amazing. You know, everybody in the world that was in my little world, was wow. Bobby Hollis has that V8 Vega and he builds a new one every year. And it's like amazing. So having the fastest car in my city, you know what I mean? It was just, it was just really, really cool. And I did this in high school. And so, all of a sudden, it's like praise and recognition. I remember my uncle, Sid Nice. He was like one of the people that gave me encouraging words. And he goes, Robert, listen, you go to trade school and, you'll get this certificate. And once you get this certificate, you could go anywhere in the world and they would hire you because you're a recognized automotive service excellence master automotive technician. And I just went, I'm doing it. And so I did really good when I wanted to get recognized. I wasn't good in English or spelling or writing or any of that stuff. But when I went to the North Dakota State College of Science and I learned yeah, see, I can't even say the words. Metal urgency. Now I'm not saying it's the word. It's just the chemicals and I can't even say the words, even though I know the stuff. They have a table of different, the periodic table. So you can see words when I'm dyslexic. I got to see them in my head, and then they get messed up. So if you have learning disabilities, just focus on recognition. Thank you, thank you, Matt. And so I learned to weld all kinds of metals and I learned to fabricate. So now I'm going to it's funny. I was going to school and I got on the dean's list in trade school, got written up in my Williston Herald newspaper. And I had 11-second quarter mile car sitting in the parking lot that was it was legal, street legal. And people were just blowing away. So I could drive this car, take the exhaust off and race and then put the exhaust back on and go home. And sort of like what they used to do in NASCAR. And so when I became a master automotive technician, oh my God, recognition again. And then I get to pick from 70 jobs and they all wanted to pay me and pay for my moving expenses to go work for them. And so I ended up working for Roger Penske. And I now recognize again, Matthew, thank you so much for bringing this up. But I got paid more money because they wanted a gold certificate. And so when you walk into a car dealership or an auto mechanics place, you see the gears, right, on these deals, and it says automotive technician, ASE certified technician. Well, there's blues, and then there's silvers, and then there's gold. I scored a 98 percentile on every test, and I was the second youngest master automotive technician in the world. And so they wanted me so they could change their sign from either a blue or silver to a gold gear. So now I'm there and I'm going to put in the most hours. I got recognized. I got recognized for getting the highest pay. I got recognized for figuring out things on Toyota vehicles that, some of the engineers couldn't figure out. And I never ever thought of this, that I just go from recognition to recognition to recognition to recognition to recognition. And I just keep doing that. So you can imagine when all of a sudden I get hurt on the job, I'm on workman's comp, I lose my identity and I lose everything. So someone that strives to be recognized and appreciated all of a sudden has no identity. And then 37 years ago, I get introduced to this world of direct sales and marketing, right? And I remember it like it was yesterday. I went in there and this guy shows me this check, $62,000. He was 5 years older than me. And I remember looking at that check and going, how did you do that? And he says, Robert, I have 30,000 people responsible for my income. I will show you word for word, step by step, exactly how I did it. I went, I'm in. I'm in. So my first month with him, 2 weeks, the first 2 weeks in the company, I was working with people that didn't know what they were talking about. They wanted me to go door to door and person to person selling, excuse me, water filters and air filters. Man, I sucked big time. And I was thinking about quitting. And all of a sudden, I go to a convention. Now, get this, I didn't want to go. The guy says to me, Robert, if you don't go, we're not working with you anymore. So I go to this convention and I see people walk the stage that are getting trophies and plaques, and they get to do a little speech. And I went, man. So this one guy really inspired me because he was from the Middle East. And he got up there and he says, hi, my name's Ahmed Mahad. I've been in company for a few months, got new Mercedes, building new home. Love this company. I love this country. And I went, that guy has broken English. If he can do it, I can do it. So I respectfully waited him to get off stage, and all his team was there and his sponsor and a bunch of people were congratulating. And I respectfully waited until he excuse me, till he had time. And I walked up and I said, congratulations. And he said, thank you. And I said, can you please share with me how to do this business? And I'll never forget this because listen, because this story has to do with recognition. And I said to him, I said, could you please tell me what you do? He goes, it's all about numbers. Say as little as possible to as many people as you can, as fast as you can. You're looking for people that have ears to hear, that are interested. Now, I would say, I'm looking for people that love getting recognized. Thank you, Matthew. And he goes, I just walk up to people, hey, do you want to make money? Yes, no. He was very direct, very, very direct. And I said, what if they ask you questions? He goes, you answer my question first. Do you want to make money? Yes, no. And I said, okay, let's say I said yes. And he goes, awesome. I'm going to introduce you to Jeff. This guy makes incredible income and he's teaching me how to be successful. And I go, that's it? And he goes, yeah. He goes, who's your money man? Now, to be politically correct in this day, who would be your money person? Because we have, oh my God, there's so many very, very successful women and in my industry. And incredible. I'm inspired by Jenna Zweigel. You know, she's one of the top earners in this industry on a month-to-month basis, earned over $1 million a month. One of the reasons I chose to do this company 6 years ago, because now I get to learn from somebody that's more recognized than me. Some of you are going to miss that big time. So he looked at me and he says, who's your money man? And I said, what do you mean? He goes, well, who sponsored you? And I said, oh, a guy that was dating one of my one of my cousins. His name's Sean Hennigan. And you can go to roberthollis.com/free and get a digital copy of my book for free. And he goes, my Rags the Riches story. And all of a sudden he says, okay, is he here? I go, no, he's not. Oh, okay. He says, who brought him in? His sponsor. I said, Craig Wilson, his roommate. He goes, is he here? He goes, no, nope, he's not here. And he goes, who brought Craig in? I said, Tim Wilson. And he goes, oh, he's not here. And I'm sitting there going, wow, wow. And he goes, well, who brought? I said, Michelle Turan. And I go, yeah, she's here. She's here. And he goes, did she walk the stage? I go, no, she didn't. He goes, who was her sponsor? I said, Peter Wilson. Did he walk the stage? Nope. See, some of you are really going to get this, how simple it was for me to be successful. I found people that love to be recognized, that were recognized at the highest level. I learned from them and did what they did. There's my secret. There's my secret. Mirroring and matching people that have already been recognized at the highest levels. I'm doing a YouTube live right now. I'm following people that are more recognized with plaques from YouTube, from hitting 1 million subscribers, 10 million subscribers, 100 million subscribers. See, you follow people that are recognized and get plaques for doing what they do and do what they do. See, I know most people don't succeed in life because they're not interested in being recognized. And that's okay. But you want to follow someone that's already recognized. So then he said to me, so who's above him? And I said, Sherry. And he goes, oh my God. Oh my God. She's sponsored by Bill Gold. And I said, yeah, I seen him on a video. He goes, listen, Robert, it was that weekend. He goes, Monday, you call NSA, National Safety Associates, is the company, my first company I got in. He says, you call that company, tell them to get a message to Bill. Bill will call you back. And I was like, why would he call me back? He goes, trust me, they're looking for people like you. Coachable, driven, love to be recognized. I went, okay. Left a message. Bill called me up. He goes, what are you doing? I said, whatever you tell me. He goes, I live in San Diego. And he goes, why don't you come down and spend some time with me? I'm doing a training this weekend. I said, yes, sir. I'll be there. I had a notice on my door. I had no electricity, a notice on my door that I was going to be evicted. And I was hiding my car from the repo man. And I jumped in my beat up Celica that had a pawn loan on it. And I drove to San Diego and I slept in my car. And I watched everything that this guy told me to do. Everything. And everything that he taught me was different than I ever heard. He made me understand that this is a people business. And I'm looking for other people that want to be recognized. Then all of a sudden I did what he told me to do. And I know you can't see it, but this was my first plaque. And that plaque was being a national marketing director and NSA. And this is in the late 80s. So it's a top position. You had to do 1 million in volume. And because I had such a big group, I made over 1 million before the age of 30. Then my mentor started his own company. And that's where this plaque came from. I was an international marketing director with Equinox, and I was the top 5 income earner before that company went out of business. And then the people that I trained did another company called ACN. And I got in that company and became #1 in the world in the late 90s, early 2000s. And that trophy's here. So I've gone from recognition to recognition to recognition to net recognition. So for those of you that want to be secret agents, that don't want to be recognized, that could care less if you could be recognized, Do you know that you still can make millions in this industry? Because all you got to do is find people that love to be recognized. To show you how crazy I am, you know, I got involved in another company. I kept trying to break my next recognition. And so I think it was 2017. This Ted started this company called Business for Home. And all of a sudden, he started posting stuff about me. And what was really interesting about this is he started putting together the top people with the largest incomes. And I wanted to be on that list. Now I'm number 11 and I want to be in the top 10. I want to be in the top 5. I want to be number 1. Why? Because I want to. Have any of you ever heard that statement? Why would you want to climb Mount Everest? Because it's there. So then all of a sudden, as I kept building this industry, then all of a sudden 6 years ago, I found something else I could do. I could get my wife recognized. So I could take my wife, get her involved in My Daily Choice, and as quick as I can, get her all the way up to ranks to get to 7 figures. That's behind me. There it is. Sorry, I can't see it. But to have my wife get on stage, I've had this with my son, to have my wife get on stage and be recognized as a super affiliate, as a 7-figure earner. Now I love helping others get recognized. And sure, when they walk on stage and tell their life story of how it changed and they mention my name, oh my God, I'm in the audience bawling my eyeballs out because I've done that for my sons. I've done that, so, when they were in martial arts, I found the very best teachers in the world and they became Cookie Wan black belts from the Korean. They got their Cookie Wan certificate. They got their belts, white belt, yellow belt, all the way up to black belt. It's like we went to competitions. They got a lot of medals, a lot of trophies. Wow. Wow. The next video I got to do is, why would I want to be recognized? Oh, wait a minute. That's this one. Why wouldn't you want to be recognized? When you leave here, when you leave this planet, Jim Rohn, one of my mentors, said you die twice. You die twice in your life. One is when you stop breathing. The other time is basically when people stop saying your name. So I just love keep finding and reinventing myself. And now, I want to be knowing to impact a lot of people on YouTube. And so, we just had our year anniversary from earning income on YouTube. And, we got a little over 7,000 subscribers, over 1 million views, and we made $17,000 with YouTube. And all it is I have a piece of paper that's in front of me all the time. All right. All I want is these awards. All I want is these awards and recognition from being on YouTube. I'm going to get the million subscribers, 10 million subscribers, 100 million subscribers. And guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to help other people. I'm going to help other people get recognition. So one of my goals was, what if the 10 people in the company, the 10 top people, were all on stage getting recognition, and all 10 people were in my group. And I see Melody on here and Craig and also my son. And these people watched me do this. All 10 people in the top 10 that were recognized were people that I helped get there. And now I have 67 people that have earned over 1,000,000 in commissions, and 9 of them own their own companies that are also getting recognition. And so, wow, that's very, very interesting. So, my thing to you is if oh, one other thing, one of the biggest things for me, really honestly. So people are like, "Well, Robert, how big can it get?" I know some people might not like this statement, but last night, Boeing was gonna put up their, you know, spaceship, to take 2 astronauts to the space station. It's been delayed over and over and over and over and over for years, massively over budget, and they had to scrap it again last night. Do you realize as soon as they went to scrap it, Elon Musk launched another SpaceX rocket? 'Cause he's just doing it over and over and over again. To think that, that they've had virtually hundreds of successful space rocket, takeoffs and returns. It's like, man. So, maybe there's people out there that don't understand a person like Elon Musk, but then all of a sudden there's another category, and this is a category is contribution. And so when I started making money, I needed to make money to give to people, right? And so Matthew and Angel reached out to me and they told me that they had this dream to take care of kids in an orphanage. And you can see this on my website under documentation and also on the YouTube channel. And I just thought, man, I'm going to get good at getting recognition, earning a lot of money, and then starting winning awards for contributing. And now I got awards not only from them, but also from the Zweigel Foundation. They have Josh Weigel holding a trophy, giving me and Terry a trophy for the amount of money that we gave to his foundation that takes care of all kinds of stuff. So now, the awards that I love winning is not only watching other people win recognition, but also and giving money away. Another good word for me, philanthropy. Yeah, anything over 5 and 7 letters. Ooh, hey, but I can change the word and just say giving. Giving, 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 giving. So now I want to make impact in other people's lives by leaving this track record of 37 years of just consistent recognition, award, recognition, award, recognition, award, recognition, award, recognition, award. And if you don't need that or want that in your life, my first question is why? Why? Because I know the last thing I'd love to share with you guys is this little imagination I have in my head. Now, don't beat me up. I'm not a biblical or religious scholar in any way, shape, or form. This is just my thoughts, right? My imagination. And my imagination is the day I'm no longer here. And my legacy is still alive because people keep talking about my name because they're still watching videos that I put up each and every day to inspire them, let them know what's going on, how they can change their mindset, how they can imagination again, and how they can turn those imaginations into incredible lifestyle. Do you guys realize that I designed a life where I can do nothing? Imagine the dream, the imagination of creating a life where you don't have to do nothing. Because then you get to really figure out first I was focused on the science of achievement. Now I'm focused on the art of fulfillment. And People that learn things that teach others how to do it, and then they get recognition. Ah, I love that. I just love that. And so here's my little imagination. I take my last breath. I'm in this bright light. I imagine a thing called heaven. And all of a sudden, I hear this voice. And the voice simply says, Robert, what have you done? What have you done to deserve to go on? And I take a breath, and all of a sudden, I hear millions and millions of people that are up there, and they're going like, "Let him in. Let that guy in." And I just get this unbelievable peace and joy and the ultimate joy and happiness. And all of a sudden, the voice says, "Well done, good and faithful servant. Well done." I don't have to say anything. I can only imagine. I can only imagine. And so that's what drives me every day. That's what keeps me excited every day. That's what keeps me continuing to raise my standards of giving more and making more impact on people. And so now I got to figure out, and I will, I now got to figure out how to get people that have given up, that have no hope, that have false beliefs and limiting thoughts. Uh, how do I get them to understand that if they can focus and imagine on being recognized? See, when I look at social media, it's a equal playing field. It's an equal playing field. You could learn, figure out your talent, and each and every day just show people you getting better at that talent. From plastic cups to throwing darts to uh, playing a guitar to building an empire, helping other people change their mindsets, just doing what you love to do. I know you guys have heard this statement, and if you haven't, the day you fall in love with what you do, you'll never work another day in your life. To think that I designed a life where I can do nothing and I still do something. Every day, all day, I'm doing things that I get love, connection, fulfillment from, joy from, because I don't know anything better than taking the things that other people taught me, wisdom, unlimited wisdom, and sharing that information with other people that helps them out of despair, helps them out of depression, helps them out of thinking that the world's going to end till I'm going to have the best life ever while I'm alive, to actually create heaven on earth, because that's between my ears. So I can live heaven on earth, and then when I'm no longer here, then I'll figure out how to get recognized on whatever level I go. So now I got people like Mr. Beast, that I think he just got an award for 200 million subscribers. What if everything in life for the people that you don't understand, what if they're doing this because they get recognition? I always talk about there's two different kinds of people that you could learn from or mirror and copy. One person can show you their evidence, their documentation. When people hear the phrase documentation-based conversation, to show you why I'm driven at recognition, do you realize that I own the patent? I own the trademark, And everyone in my world uses it. Documentation beats conversation. They don't know that I own the trademark and the patent on that. You could go to documentationbeatsconversation.com. So now if other people are not interested in being recognized, no wonder they don't care. But what could I do to make you care? What if I told you the way to greatness was the service of many? And in my beginning years, when I didn't know anything, I just got really, really good at getting people excited to learn wisdom that they didn't know. Did you hear me? From people that were already being recognized for it. God, life is simple. It's so simple. So I hope you enjoyed this. I know one thing for a fact, you can do whatever you put your mind to. Plug in, make sure you subscribe, make sure you click on that little bell. I'm doing live videos virtually every day, sometimes two. Check out the podcast on Wednesday. Check out the inner circle we do on Thursday nights. Check out the Ask Me Anything on Saturday. Check out the Imaginator group on Sunday. Just get plugged in. Just get plugged in, because when you become who you hang around, and if you're hanging around people that are doing as little as possible to get by day, week by week, month by month, you know, have a lifetime bus pass for the struggle bus. Now, if you think I'm laughing at ya, I used to be one of you multiple times in my life. It was like, "Hey, I give up. I quit. I'm gonna do as little as possible, and, I'm gonna be isolated. I'm not gonna try to." Again, the way to greatness is the service of many. I'm not gonna figure out something that can make me excited about being alive, and then all day, every day, sharing that with people that have never heard it. Man, that's the life. That's the life. So, please do me a huge personal favor and share this video with others. And again, thank you to the super chatters and the people that are commenting. I always go back and look at the comments, but too small on my screen here because I didn't set it up correctly. Yeah, it's crazy. A dyslexic auto mechanic that's way overweight, that doesn't know how to talk. If I can do this, you can do it. I just figure out, hey, how did you get that plaque? How do you get that trophy? What do I got to do? I got to get 1,000,000 subscribers. Okay. What do I do? Do as much content as you can that's entertaining, inspiring, funny. Yeah, just do a bunch of that stuff. I don't want to. Great. Then share other people that are that way. Because if you find other people that love recognition and get them in front of this machine, uh, you're gonna be recognized even if you don't want to. So you'll still get the accolades, you just won't be there. So that's pretty interesting, isn't it? There's I always say this one, how many people know who Taylor Swift is? How many people know who her agent and manager is? So wait a minute. There's people that make millions of dollars off Taylor Swift and you don't know their names? So you never have to be on tour. You never have to get on stage. You never have to sing. Wow, what if you were just really good at asking people who do they know that not only want to make extra money, but who do they know that loves to be recognized? I appreciate you. I love and appreciate you. And never ever forget, if no one's ever given you permission to succeed in life, let me be the first. My mentors did that for me, and I want to do that for you. So share this with the people that have given up on their job or whatever they're doing because they're no longer being recognized. They're no longer being appreciated. They're no longer getting praise because I can show them how to get it. Take care. See you on the next video. Bye for now.